Let's start with Luke. The first time you considered getting a coach, right? I want you to go back there in your mind. What were you doing? Where were you at? And you thought, you know what? It's about time I got a coach. I'm fed up. Enough is enough. What was that point?
Let's take it back. I mean, yeah, I'd been going to the gym a few months, and I'd been out of going to the gym for quite a long time. As you know, I was doing Muay Thai, and I wasn't seeing progress in the gym. I wasn't really happy with how I looked, and I kind of thought, why am I paying this money to go to the gym to not be happy in how I look? Like something needs to change, and I kind of thought about when I was doing Muay Thai, you always had a coach and how much progress you made. So I'd seen I'd seen somebody I know that had been working with yourself, and I just thought, why not just get onto this guy and have a chat and see where we can go with this because I do want to make this change.
Class, mate. Let's have a look at what were you like then in regards to physically, like what weight were you, as an example?
I think weight wise I'll have been I haven't got an exact number, but I'll have been 90 odd K.
90 odd kilogram.
Yeah.
What are you now? So at now?
Oh, what was I this morning? 78.
Really? Yes, like 12 kilo down.
Yeah, yeah.
12? No, is that 12 or 22? 22?
Is
That's
it
22.
22?
22?
Uh,
If you go from
no.
90 to 78, that's 22, isn't it?
Is it? I'm shit at maths.
Let me double check your last check-in because 22 kilo sounds load. Like you've lost loads, obviously. 22
Yeah.
kilos, what's that in? You're probably about right. I think 14 kilos, 14 kilo a stone.
Yeah, I
No.
was like
Yeah.
I was like 14, was I 14.5 when I started with you? I was in the 14 stones anyway.
Mm. What are you
So
down at now?
I just do
Stones.
it in kilos now,
Oh,
mate.
kilo now, yeah.
So 78 kilos, so I think it's
Sweet. Must
12,
be,
12
yeah.
summit.
Must be 22. Okay, now. So look. Yes, on your check-in here, 78.7. Fucking class, mate. Body fat level wise, I can say, like, from my experience, like, you were probably, with not much muscle mass, you were probably looking at around 20% body fat plus.
Yeah.
You're easy down, you're pushing tens now, 10% body fat, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
starting to come through almost, getting a lot leaner now, so that's really good work, mate. Now, if we look at what you were doing before, so you were going to the gym how many times a week?
I was going like 3, 4 times a week. I wasn't massively consistent. So sometimes it'd be four, sometimes it'd be three.
Mm.
Um, and what what I was trading off was so there's like the PTs at Bannatynes. And not to like slag them off, but you get like a starter kind of workout, and I was doing that, and like I even knew myself like this isn't that good, but I wasn't pushing myself either. I would just go in, go through the motions, do it, and gan. Like I wasn't pushing myself. I wasn't improving every week or training past failure or anything like that. I was just going in, lifting the weights, doing what I needed to do, and getting out of there.
Hmm. What have you learned in the training area then, since you've started?
Obviously, the tempo's something I've never done before, and kind of what I'm trying to focus on a lot now is actually connecting with what I'm doing. So connecting with the muscles, like feeling what I'm working and actually progressing every week. So, trying a bit heavier, training past failure.
Mm.
And yeah, the progress I can even see just from that is class.
Yeah, belter. Let's go back to when you first started again compared to where you are now, and we'll talk about kind of challenges and that in between. But how were you feeling back then compared to now within yourself?
Back when I was just going to the gym kind of on
Yeah,
myself.
when you were first started, you didn't have a coach, you were just doing your thing. Like, obviously, you said like you weren't happy with how you looked, but can you expand on that in regards to generally day to day, how were you feeling compared to now?
Oh, I mean, day to day, I guess kind of just going through the motions and like with my with my kind of weight, it's something that I've always been conscious about. and something that I've always kind of been probably a bit worried about how people kind of see me, to be fair. Um, and yeah, it was something. If somebody like made a comment, it would bother me.
Mm,
I would brush it off, and I could make it seem like it didn't bother us, but it would. And whereas kind of now, like my missus, she's probably like my biggest fan. Gives us
mhm.
compliments all the time on
That's
how I look, and even like myself, like catch myself in the mirror, um, and I like what I see, and I like obviously going and weigh myself and seeing, like the scales drop, or now I'm eating more. They're not going up massively because I'm training harder, and I just feel better in my like just in myself really.
good. What about mindset, emotions, anything along those lines? Like more so mindset, like any change there, any change in like energy levels, outlook, how you view yourself, another kind of big one there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, kind of energy levels. I would definitely say I have more energy because obviously I've been working with you on getting my sleep better, which is something I've become a little bit obsessive with actually, because I really want to get it to the best that I can. Mindset, another big thing. I I'm actually like really interested in mindset now because I believe that it's the most important thing to your success in anything. So mindset's something that I know you can't just kind of click your fingers and your mindset's in the right place, something to kind of continually working on. But from where I was to where I am now, mindset wise, is totally different. And my missus has picked up on this a lot. And one thing, one thing with mindset and like habits that have changed and everything. So I could say probably, I used to have, you could say, a bit of a problem with alcohol, to be totally honest. Not to the point where I would be drinking every day or anything like that. But when I did drink, I took it really past limits, and then I would always act in a way that wasn't right, and it'd affect who I was with. So my partner, she used to hate going out with me because she knew every time that something would happen. Um, and I've been out with her a couple of times now, and I most of the time I'll drink an alcohol free, and I will still have an alcoholic drink, but I keep it on a level. And the last time I was out with her, um, it was at a wedding, and there was I won't go into the like situation, but there could have been a situation there, and the old Luke would have made something of it.
Yeah.
But I act in a totally different way. I wasn't drunk or anything. I was on a nice level, enjoying myself, and my missus actually came to me and she was like, "Do you know what? I'm actually so proud of how you are now, like the change that you've
Oh,
done."
that's
She was
fucking
like,
class.
yeah, massively proud of that. And I would usually kind of go out with her on a night out drinking, and I'd feel like absolute shit in the morning because I knew that I'd acted in a way that wasn't me, and I didn't want to do that. But I'd get to that point where I didn't have my inhibitions anymore.
Mm,
So now being like that, and just being in this way where I want to be better
yeah.
is a massive step up, massive, absolutely massive compared to where I was at.
Well, I'll take them off to you, mate, because I've certainly not told you to not drink, and I actually told you at the wedding. I remember saying, "Go and see the boots, mate. You've earned it. You've
Yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah,
You've been putting the graft in. If you want to go and have a drink, like so." I take my off to you, mate, because that's I think that's one of the best compliments you can get. Some, especially your partner, someone saying, "I'm proud of you." You know what
yeah.
I mean? What do you think then has been the kind of reason why? Because at the end of the day, like I haven't said don't drink. I haven't said learn how to just have a couple. You've done that all off your own back. What's been the change that's made you like that?
I think obviously, like working with you and you know, doing the other stuff that I'm doing, that you kind of become. a bit of a bit of a product of your environment. So the people that you're around. So like, yourself, you push yourself to be, the best that you can be. And I talk to other people like every week that are pushing to be the best that they can be.
Class.
And it does have that effect on you that like I'm surrounded by some great people that are pushing on now, and I want to push on and I want to be better. And if I do this, I kind of believe I don't know if you'd call it karma, but I kind of feel like when you put that out to the world that you're wanting to be better and you're trying to be better, you're gonna end up being better,
100%.
So like yeah, and I enjoy being this way more than I did the other way. So,
Good.
it feels better.
Good, mate. Good. I guess then the good question now is why? Why bother trying to improve yourself? Why get a coach? Why? We've obviously said, yeah, you weren't happy with how you look, but like at the end of the day, you could have stayed as you are. Like your missus got with you, with you getting smashed, and although it caused problems probably, and she wasn't happy about it, she was with you, and you've obviously got kids and a house and a family and a life and all that. Like, why not just stay there?
Um, I guess really, if I was to be 100% honest, probably just not being happy with myself, to be honest. Kind of where I was physically and kind of other stuff that I'm working on professionally, not being happy with, kind of guess always feeling like you can do more,
Mm,
but probably always being a bit scared to kind of do it maybe because you're always kind of I guess you kind of always kind of really from like school and everything like stay in your lane, be this kind of certain way and everything. And yeah, and it like with the ego thing in the back of your mind, you know telling you. And I guess yeah, I just kind of wanted to push that to the side and just get on with it. If other people can do it, I can do it, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it now.
yeah,
So
you fucking
yeah.
are, mate. You 100% are.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know now, is there anyone who has kind of been affected by you just doing the work on yourself, like family, friends, colleagues? Like, has anyone started or changed or improved themselves because of you and what you've done with yourself?
I would say definitely my missus. I'm around her the most. She's my best friend, and like I said, she's my biggest supporter. So she's got in got into working out more. She was very on and off before. She's got into working out more and eating healthier. And I would say really kind of the people who will kind of maybe not be inspired but feel it the most will be my kids because I'm showing up as a happier person now, really, you know. And yeah, I think they're the ones that can feel it the most, to be honest. I mean, who else really? My brother, actually, my brother. Yeah, he's got himself into the gym now. He's working away on his own thing.
Belter.
But yeah, I'd say my like the immediate people in my house, so like my missus and my two kids, they'll see the benefits the most because I'm with them the most. And
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely, even my missus, like I said before, saying that she was proud of that what I've done, that meant a lot. And it took a lot for her to kind of say that, I think, because I know before that wedding she had anxiety of how it was gonna be,
Mm.
and she apologized. She was like, "I know I had that anxiety and I mentioned it to you. I'm like so sorry that I did." And I was like, "No, don't be sorry because that's how I was. I'm not
Yeah.
that now."
Yeah.
So they definitely see the benefit the most.
Classmate, love it, love it. So a lot of lads, I think, are gonna really kind of relate to your story in regards to definitely on the drinking front, mate. It's quite a big one, that quite a common one. But even with the gym, just kind of going through the motions, training 3, 4 times a week, not even looking like the train, getting no progress, not investing in themselves, just kind of really ticking over.
Yeah.
What would you say to those lads that are on the fence or potentially thinking about maybe getting some coaching or investing in themselves or even just starting to do the work on themselves in whatever way that is?
I would ask them to think about what the biggest asset is that they have, and
Interesting.
that is yourself. So, you know, if they're going out on a weekend and blasting £100 every weekend and going out getting steam and that does nothing for them, or even just paying the money to the gym when you're not seeing the progress, you're paying money for nothing. Think of what your biggest asset is, and that is you. And really, what you're doing is working towards your health. And if you don't have your health, you don't have anything else because you can't make money, you can't go out and enjoy yourself. So, and I think once you start investing in yourself, and don't get me wrong, I'm probably one of the tightest people gone, and it's took me till 32-year old to be like, right, I'm gonna bet on myself and do this, do it, and it'll be the best decision that you've ever made because you'll learn a lot about yourself along the way as well. And like I said, yeah, your biggest asset is you, and put something into it, man. Oh, that's what I would say.
Belter, mate. What a bombshell to end on. Very good advice. Very good advice.